I am Positively Chris Pace, and you are actively listening to Conversations with Chris.
I just moved here from New Zealand just under 4 months ago.
Oh wow,
So
so
I'm
you're a
still
Kiwi
fresh.
sellout, huh?
Yeah, I am. Proud of it.
Yeah, I spend I go vacation in Bali and I love Bali, but I learned very quickly you don't call the Kiwis Aussies. That's not a good thing. They're like, oh no no
Oh,
no. I get corrected very quickly.
yeah, a lot of New Zealanders get offended by that, but I've personally always loved Australians, so I think I was definitely meant to be here at some point in my journey.
Nice. So how long you've been there for?
So I moved here mid-October. So yeah, just under 4 months.
Oh
About four
wow.
months.
And did you move to open the practice?
I moved because I actually had no idea what I was going to do. It was very take the leap, just get out of the environment you're in. You know that feeling when your environment's just stagnant and you can no longer grow, so you have to change. And yeah, I was going through a breakup. I was just needing a change, and I had a friend who lived in Melbourne and she was moving here to Torquay, which is a small beach town, for the summer. She wanted to learn to surf, and yeah, she just invited me over and felt like a big yes. So that's my ticket.
Been there since, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's been
sometimes
great.
it's great. You just change your location and everything else in your life changes with it. So it's a simple solution to a huge problem for a lot of people. I know I don't stay anywhere for longer than 2 years because frankly I wear out anywhere I'm at. 2 years and I need to move on. I need some other places. So I've been all over the world, 47 countries now,
Wow.
and
You've lived in
counting.
47 countries.
And traveled to, taught, probably spent more than 3 months in probably five, and then spent more than 3 years in Japan. And so it's,
Wow.
I've had a chance to live overseas. Like we don't get any more overseas than Japan. So,
Oh,
but
yeah. Japan's the first country on my list I'd love to visit.
oh, it's amazing. If you ever get a chance, go to Naha in Okinawa. It's the largest tug of war competition in the world, and
Oh, wow.
it's a blast. Like it's like thousands and thousands of people with a rope the size of a building. And you Google it later, you'll be like, "Holy cow, that looks fun!" But I had a chance to be a part of that tug of war, so it was kind of neat. But you'll love Japan.
Oh,
It's beautiful. And I think right now they're like doing some free domestic flights within the country
oh, wow.
if you book an international flight into Japan on Japan Airlines. So I think it's going on all month, but it might be worth going up. I don't know what your financial situation is, but you can hop all over Japan for free. That's cool.
That's so cool. I heard they're quite strict on tattoos. Like you're not allowed to go a lot of places if you have tattoos. Yeah, I thought you were covered as well.
Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to go there now without covering my tattoos.
Yeah.
They have strict rules. Yakuza, which is the mafia slash government over there.
Mm.
They're the only ones who are allowed to walk around with sleeves exposed. So,
Yeah.
and my hands are done too, so I would have to wear gloves. And I mean,
Yeah, me too.
you're not as much of a. I mean, it's they would frown on it with you, but they probably wouldn't kill you. They would kill me,
Right.
like they'd chop my head off. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
not really worth it. I can
Yeah,
cover
no, not really.
them up. I'll throw gloves and a long sleeve on. No big deal. It's cold over there anyway.
Yeah, I just got a little one on my neck as
Yeah.
well, so I
What
have
does it
to wear
say?
like oh, it's the Arabic symbol for female warrior,
Nice. That
right
right
on
there
the
would
throat
stress
chakra.
me out because I would like forever be looking in the mirror trying to make sure it was perfectly straight. I would never be able to I'd be like, nah, it's slightly, no, wait, that's my eye. My eye is lopsided. So like you have to have a symmetrical face to tattoo something down the center of your neck. So kudos
Yeah.
to you for having a symmetrical face.
We probably spent longer doing the stencil,
Prepping it.
placing it on me than we actually did tattooing
Oh,
it, but I
I
feel
owned a
like it's
shop, and it was like I would spend out. I wouldn't be able to decide. I'd be like, you have to do it. Just let me know when you're ready.
perfect.
It's just a crazy hard line, you know. I mean, because you flare one nostril and everything's out of whack, and so it's like
I know.
you got it. But it came out good. I mean, from where I can see, so
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm
not
very
check
happy.
against it, but it looks great. Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
That's the newest one, huh?
Well, actually, I just got this one yesterday.
I was gonna say that one looked a little fresh, like it's still bleeding,
Yeah, it's a sun
but
on my shoulder.
really
So
nice, really
yeah, I really
nice.
love it.
Yeah, no
Turned out
line
well.
work, huh? They just did
Yes.
straight up red, which is cool. That's hard to do.
I, yeah, actually the studio, one of the studios I work out of, it's like a collaborative space, and there's a tattoo artist in there. She does fine line tattoos, and so we do a lot of trades, and it's great.
Barter system.
Yeah.
So the practice that you have is a very unique thing, and I'm excited for you to tell me and everyone else about it because I found you through Instagram. Obviously, you know it throws random people from all over the world on your feed, and I'm one of those people who is extremely curious, and I like to know more about things. But and it's certainly stuff that's involves health and wellness and obviously living a better life. So when I saw your stuff, I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like, I want to know more about it because it's unique. We have Reiki, we have yoga, we have massage therapy, we have all these similar along the lines type things. But yeah, I'm curious to hear all about how you got into it, what it's all about, what you offer, and how long you've been doing it, why you do it. Always got
Yeah.
to know the why.
Always the why.
So,
Yeah, sure. So pretty much everything that I offer has been through experience of my own body, of my own mind, of my own pain and struggles, and my journey back to wellness and regulation. And I I never enjoyed the typical way of studying or learning. I didn't really absorb anything from reading something from a piece of paper. So my my being, my soul was designed to kind of go through all of these things to experience it at a deep level for myself. And then, like you, I'm a very curious person. I need to know the why all the time. Why? Why am I feeling this way? Why is this happening? Why do I have this pain here? Why do I feel this way even though my external reality looks fine? Like, why do I have this depression? Why do I have this anxiety? And so, yeah, I deep dive and I explored with my own body. I practiced different things that I learned, and I was someone who I spent a lot of time in my mind. Um, so a lot of my journey has been connecting back into my body and just honestly wanting to have a body
yeah, right.
for a long time.
Get back to the simplicity part of it.
Yeah,
Simplify life, right? Simplify.
literally for a long time I really rejected the human experience. I didn't like it. I didn't want to be here, and I never actually learned how to feel my emotions or feel my feelings. They would just get stuck in my body. I had so much chronic pain. I knew how to intellectualize my emotions. I knew how to think about being sad. I knew how to think about
Mhm.
being angry. I knew like I could process it all in my mind. I knew why, I knew what, I knew how, but actually going down into the body and feeling it and experiencing it, it was really foreign to me. Like I really had to teach myself how to do that. And
Mhm.
kind of through that journey, I really understood the profound connection between the emotional and the physical, and how you can use your body to heal your mind, and you can use your mind to heal your body, and every emotion sort of has a place in your body that it stays, or that it gets stuck if it's not fully felt or processed. And yeah, with the lymphatic system, um, energetically, it represents letting go of things. It's our detoxifying system. It's everything, gets rid of everything we don't need, that's physically and energetically, emotionally. And so my lymphatic system was super compromised because obviously I was holding everything in, and I didn't know how to let things go. Because in order to let things go, you actually have to feel them. And so, yeah, I went on this deep journey with my lymphatic system, and I guess I didn't learn about it the traditional way. I did some short courses about doing it on other people, but ultimately, yeah, it was, I had felt it all in my body, and just every day working on little bits, and finally seeing um, results and feeling connected to myself again was the biggest thing.
That's huge too, because you're right. I mean, unless you actually spend time actually facing the fear that most people have of why am I feeling this emotion? I don't want to feel it. Don't let anybody see it. I don't want to express it. Don't that, and it's like we're conditioned to not allow ourselves to feel things, let alone attempt to understand why we feel them. So it's like a very enlightening day, that day that you wake up and go, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and feel things. But on top of that, I'm going to go ahead and see why I feel things. And then you start to go dive deep and realize that you're not the only one that's going through that. Everyone else is too. They're just stuck at that point right before you go to the next level. And I always tell people that emotions are meant to be felt. They're beautiful. They're meant to give a life purpose. They're meant to give life value. They're meant to give us these incredible feelings that we wouldn't have without emotions. But at the end of the day, you don't make decisions with your emotions. You take the emotions, you identify them, you feel them, and you set them down, and you go back to logic and reason, because those two things keep you alive and are what make make the better decisions, because emotional decisions every time are always going to leave you in a difficult spot and probably clog up the lymphatic system, like you said, right? So then you end up with a whole bunch of that, and now you don't even know where to begin. So where'd you start? Which lymphs did you go for?
Actually, I had a lot of, probably mostly in my neck and my throat. A lot of my blockages were to do with speaking my truth or advocating for my needs, and just speaking up in general, being my true self, and that comes out the throat. And the throat is also directly connected to the womb space, and so I also had a lot of blockages in there. And the more you can speak your truth and open your throat chakra in that way, the more it clears your womb as well. So it's really connected.
Yeah, that's interesting. Not having a womb, I would have never known that. But for certain, the throat chakra is the one that tends to catch people, my students at least, a lot. And they spend a lot of time working through that one because of, man, facing your truth is very difficult. But what people don't realize is the insane level of peace that you have once you do face your truth. It can hurt, it can suck, it can be sad, it can make a lot of emotions come up, and it does usually. But on the other side of it is like this just easy street. You just find peace in everything, and you're able to find gratitude in everything, and you stop facing and thinking about all the negatives and all the what ifs and all the why me's and all the things like that. And now you're able to live in the present moment and really appreciate life, and be grateful for the existence of being here. But you can't do that until you get through that truth chakra. And boy, People hold on to
Yeah.
that stuff, man. They don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to let it out. It's just, I don't know,
No. A
crushing
lot
you.
of us, it's never been safe for us to tell the truth or speak up. A lot of us have trauma and childhood trauma around anytime we were our authentic selves or said how we felt, we were either shamed or blamed or punished. And so it's a real gradual process, and it's all to do with your nervous system as well, creating safety in your nervous system. And it really is small steps of small moments. Oh, I'm going to say one little thing here and then probably spend the rest of my day in anxiety about it, but at least I said it. And then at least yeah, slowly you keep kind of having those moments and pushing through that fear. And eventually, yeah, it does start to clear, and you do start to realize, okay, I'm grown up now. No one's gonna punish me. I have advocacy for myself, and so
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the thing too. I mean, we're conditioned from a very young age to modify our answers, right? Before we speak, because the truth is too much for a lot of people, and because they can't handle it, they don't want us telling it. And I'll be honest, even after said chakra opens, people still don't want to hear it. You're still isolation. I mean, I'm living proof, man. And I make a lot of people really unhappy because if they ask me something, I go, "Are you sure you want me to answer that?" Because, that's my way of saying you're going to get the truth. I'm going to give it to you as delicately as I can, but it's still going to be the truth. So I'm
yeah,
offering you the out now if you don't want the truth, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to, and that's, I respect and honor myself too much to ever allow myself to lower my frequency to that vibration of placating or pretending that, that's not, okay, I'll play along with you and your fantasy that you have here that isn't the truth. But, it takes a long time to get to that place, but it certainly is lonely because people prefer to be told what they want to hear. They just do. They really do. I mean, if you could go through life and just tell people what they want to hear, they'll do anything you want. They'll be your best friend. They'll stay with you forever. But if you go and tell them the truth, man, they're out quick because nobody wants the truth.
it's
And yet
so
the truth
true.
sets you free.
Yeah.
And really, I didn't understand that statement until I went through it. And then now I'm like, man, if people understood the amount of peace that you have in life once you go through and face all the trauma, because you can't really say you love yourself unless you truly accept and are grateful for every single thing that's ever happened to you in your life. Being molested, raped, abused, all of it, you got to go, man, I am so grateful for every single experience because all of that added together makes up Gabi, makes up Kris.
Mm,
We are the collective sum of all the things that happen to us in our lives. So you can't say you truly love yourself until you actually accept and are grateful for everything that's happened because it had to happen to make you who you are today. And I teach that a lot, and people look at me like I am straight up crazy. And
mm.
I might be, that might be true. I certainly don't want to fit in, so not into this society.
I believe the more crazy you are in this world, the more sane you actually are.
That's the truth. That's the truth. 100%. I'm right there with you. So I second that notion because I'll stay over here by myself with the other crazy people because we certainly do have a different way of seeing things. But I mean, it's like you said, it's a conditioning. It's people beat you down at a young age and you don't
Yeah.
realize, like it's not I mean, how often do you see like a kid say something where it's like completely the wrong thing to say, like, oh my gosh, look how fat that lady is, or whatever. And in your public store, and the parents are like, don't say that. You can't say that. That's not okay. It's like, but it's true. But they don't know that, there's like supposed to be etiquette, which we could do a whole podcast on that word. But
Yeah.
but I mean, why do we punish people for telling the truth? Why do we slap their hands and tell them not to say that? I mean, are we doing the other person a favor by not being honest with them? No, not at all. Are we doing ourselves a favor? No. Now that we feel Like we can't tell anybody the truth because we're not sure who we're going to hurt, And then once you get to a point, you start to learn to articulate the truth from a healthy perspective to where you're not being mean, but you're also telling the truth. Or in my case, not telling the truth because I could just avoid it by saying, "Are you sure you want me to answer that?"
Yeah.
Everyone knows that that means like, oh, he's about to unload the truth on me. If I say yes, so don't ask a question you don't want the truth to, right? So tell me
It's
about
really
the
interesting,
business.
right?
I'll go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's really interesting how I really think it is that saying people can only meet you where they've met themselves. And I do find a lot of people they lie to themselves. And so when you aren't ready to kind of be honest with yourself, you're definitely not ready to hear truth from someone else. And I'm kind of similar to you. I've always been quite a blunt, straight up person, and you're right that it does create loneliness. And I say things with kindness, but I definitely don't sugarcoat anything. I honestly don't believe I was born with that ability. um, but I think
No
that
filter, right? That's what they say. No filter. No filter.
yeah, I've
And you're like,
definitely
why should I
learned.
filter
Yeah, I've definitely
it?
learned more who to share those things with. You can kind of tell if someone's going to be reciprocal of your feedback, or I really believe it should be asked for as well, but sometimes it is hard. And I think people kind of walk around acting like they want honesty and they want truth, but it's really confronting to a lot of people. And
They don't want the truth.
yeah, it's a certain frequency that not I not yet. I haven't found many people can meet me on, but I really appreciate it in someone. I try to surround myself with people who it's kind of like you just always know they're being honest with you, so you feel this sense of peace, you feel the sense of safety. You're not sort of searching for I like is there an underlying energy here? You just yeah, I really appreciate just blunt people who can just tell me how it is. I just
Yeah.
prefer communication in that way.
And it is. I mean, the people that really value people like us that do tell the truth, they flock to us. It's just the rest of the people, which is a lot more than the ones that come towards it. They run away from it, and it's a mirror. It's a mirror for them to look into and see themselves through the eyes of someone who lives their truth. And
Mm.
I think once Satya is the ultimate truth, right? There's only one truth, and that's what we have to get back to is let's stop lying. Let's stop make believing. Let's stop pretending. Let's start actually being honest with each other. And like, maybe we can all grow. Maybe we could all come together instead of, well, I don't want to hear that. So therefore, I'm not going to hang out with a person because they're going to tell me the truth. And it's like, wait, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, 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 whoa. You don't want to hear that losing weight is healthy for you. You don't want to hear that exercise is good for you. Or, you know what I mean? Like, usually it's stuff like that. That's like, really good information. It's not like,
But you know
horrible
what's
things.
interesting? It's not like I feel like those people they leave those conversations, they're not thinking, oh, he he tells the truth too much. It's almost like they will find another reason not to be around you
Mhm.
because it's triggered them too deeply. They can't see he's telling the truth. Oh no, he's to this, she's to that, and they create other reasons and
Well, your truth threatens their reality.
yeah,
And
completely.
that's a simple way to explain it is that they want to believe in their false thoughts and beliefs, but they can't do that as long as people are around them calling them out, telling them that's not real. So,
Yeah.
we, probably know a lot or watch a lot on the news about Americans, and over the last 4 years, we had this big, trans was real popular, and I think, hey, to each his own, but also I don't think that that's a thing we should be forcing children to have. You know what I mean? Like that's some disturbing stuff. And so somebody needed to come out and say, hey, the truth here is this is not healthy, and let's move forward from it. You know what I mean? If you want to do you, but trying to force that into children's minds and into the children's bodies is not good and should never happen. So that
Mm,
movement swings back the other way now because we've got new leadership that's taken those off the table, you know. And it's like, to me as an adult, as long as it's consensual, I really don't care what you do. As long as it's with an adult and it's consensual, do you whatever you want to be. If you want to be a sheep or a cat or a dog or whatever it is you want to be, knock stuff out. Just, leave the 6-year-olds alone. Let the children be. Let them do their thing. They don't need to be
mm,
indoctrinated into your thought process or your fantasies. I personally,
yeah.
so I think we'll get back to more truth in the near future, because it seems like it's coming to the point where free speech. And I know Australia just X just became Twitter just became number one in Australia for news, which means free speech is being sought down there too. Which is crazy because
Mm,
it's such a big movement for one little thing to have changed the world, which is silly little Twitter, but it did, because people can now find the truth. And that truth is, everybody was searching for it, but we couldn't find it anywhere. So now that we can find it, we've got access to it. And we found out that there's a lot of people out there that are unified in the same belief, because I don't know about, I mean, over here, we were made to feel crazy if you didn't get the vaccine, right? Well, I was never taking the vaccine. That was just not on the table. And I don't care what kind of pressure came on or bribery. But those that did, I don't judge that either, but to each his own.
mm.
Everyone has to, make their choice. But trying to force people into it, and then all of a sudden there's this hatred from people that got it against people that don't have it. And that's like, wait, now I'm getting really confused. Like, I'm fine with you having it, but you want me to have it too? Why? It just doesn't it work? So I think, getting back to the truth of things and making sense of things as well. It was nonsense, like, come on, you need how many boosters and you're still susceptible to people that don't have it. Let's now that all the truths come out, look at, all the conspiracy theorists were right. So it's a crazy
Doesn't it
time.
just show the power of fear? The
Hmm.
power of fear and how much it can warp the mind and control the mind and create division, which creates more disconnection, which creates more fear. And yeah.
Weakens the
It-
population. It takes us away
mm,
from each other, United, we're strong. Divided, we're weak. And instead of just dividing us between men and women and white and black and then sex, right, homosexual, heterosexual, we've gotten down to like, there's like, if you meet someone, you've got like 35 questions to see if you have the same beliefs and things, like
literally.
if you're on a dating site, it's like, are you vaccinated? How do you feel about LGBTQ? What pronoun do you? Yeah, and
I was just gonna say that about the
if any of
dating
these
apps.
don't line up, you're now, you know what I mean? Like, that's an impossibility to get all those in the same. Plus, it's just weird. Like, it doesn't matter. That stuff's not important. So,
You
they've created
know.
all the division, but I think yoga to bring people back together. What you're doing as well, which, I want to hear all about your stuff. So you've got 15 minutes to give me the whole rundown. What do you think?
Oh wow.
Can you give me a rundown in 15?
Yeah, I can do my best. So
That's the truth I wanted to hear.
always doing my best. Yeah, so as I was saying, I've really incorporated the physical aspect of healing as well as the emotional aspect of healing. So I use Reiki in a lot of my massage, in all of my massage treatments, which is a form of energy healing. And I offer a few different massage treatments. So I do lymphatic drainage and I do lymphatic drainage facials. I also do fascia release. This is all in my fascia release treatments. It's very intuitive based. So I kind of tune into the person's body and understand what's going on with them emotionally and physically, and target the areas of the fascia that hold those certain emotions, or I'm like intuitively guided to just put my hands on. Everything in the body is connected. So, say for example, I won't really go if someone's having neck issues or shoulder issues. I first will like release their hands. So there's trigger points in the hands that really help to release all of the neck and shoulder. Um, it's all about like letting go, in the arms is all about letting go, especially hands. It's like things that we're carrying. Shoulders are burdens and responsibilities, and the neck's all about, when you think about like what the neck does, the neck enables us to look in all directions. So if you have a stiff or a sore neck, it's usually because you have possibly like a rigid way of thinking, or you're not willing to look at different perspectives or see different paths. And yeah, it's so interesting. Like every part of the body you can go into like that. And I had this amazing book. I left it in New Zealand because it was really heavy. Couldn't bring it over, but it was called Metaphysical Anatomy. And I can't remember who it's by, but this wonderful lady, and she's done all this research, and it basically has every single physical ailment down to like diseases, cancer, um, anything in the body, and she's connected everything back to like an emotion or a trauma, and it's so specific and it's so freaky accurate. Like every time I would have something go on in my body, I would open this book and I would just be, oh my gosh, are you kidding? Like, no way, how did you know that? So
Is
yeah.
it COVID-19? Did I have some?
Yeah, oh, I don't know about that one. I think the book was created before that.
Yeah, I'm sure that one's left out. It's not really one to worry about. So
No,
that's
not
really, I
really.
mean, that's interesting. Yeah, I was actually just reading today about fascia and how it's like, they said that for so long your gut was your second brain, but now they're actually saying your fascia is your second brain. And so that's an interesting thing that is a change for me, because I spend a lot of time on gut health and on physical health, obviously, but most importantly, mental health and spiritual health. And I don't believe that the body can be in balance without all of them being in balance together. So understanding that, it doesn't mean it has to be perfect. It just has to be in balance. And,
Mm.
you can do some things that are wild and crazy and completely unhealthy for you, but you find balance to bring it back to where it needs to be. As a matter of fact, it's now they're saying people with lots of tattoos actually have a really a lot more well-trained, strengthened immune system, because of how many times our bodies have had to heal themselves. And so our bodies are used to fighting, especially me, because I'm literally covered. But, they spend all that time damaging the cells, and then they have to recover. So it makes sense. They get a lot more practice. Maybe not the sanest thing in the world, but certainly been around a long time. And, there could be a lot of truth to it, because it definitely seems that way, it does seem that way. So that's why you have to take care of yourself, clearly, obviously. Can't just get tattoos. That's disclaimer. That's not going to work. You're not going to
Yeah.
stay
No,
healthy
no.
just because you got tattoos on your body. That'd be amazing,
Yeah,
though,
that's
right?
not the
I'd be like,
message.
sweet, I'm going to live forever.
Not the
Can't take
message we
me out.
want, Kris.
Right. How many do you have to have? I don't know, but I got a lot more. I went
At
for extra
least
credit.
7.
That's right. If you have an entire body part done, you're good. The
Oh,
lymphatic
fine.
drainage sounds, is any of it painful? Do people have like
No.
emotional experiences, or no?
Oh,
It's all good.
yes, definitely emotional, but lymphatic drainage is the least painful treatment. The lymphatic system lives just under the skin. So in order to move the lymph fluid, it requires quite a light to medium pressure. So we have drainage points in different parts of our body where a lot of lymph nodes live. So a lot of them are behind the ears, in our clavicle, on our chest here, in our armpits, in our stomach, in our groin, and behind our knees and in our ankles. So it's really important to sort of pump and open the lymph nodes before you do any kind of drainage, so the nodes can actually clean the fluid and drain it out properly. So my lymphatic drainage treatments, I start by massaging the stomach. Ultimately, everything drains to the stomach and goes through our intestines and out our waste systems. So yeah, the treatment starts on the stomach. It's really make most people fall asleep, to be honest. It's super relaxing, and because I'm bringing Reiki through as well, yeah, a lot of people end up snoring, and it's just great. It's the biggest compliment if someone starts snoring, honestly.
I just felt that way too in my yoga classes, but then I realized that I just have one of those voices that people like, you could say anything you want, and that would put me to sleep. And I'm like, thanks, I think. I don't, I don't know how to take, till I learned that there's a thing called ASMR, which apparently I could make a lot of money just talking. I was like,
You
"Oh,
could.
that's a thing." I was like, holy
Yeah.
cow. So yeah, I got an idea. So it's coming soon. You'll see. It's going to be exciting. But yeah, it's definitely different when it's exceptional compliment when somebody's so relaxed that they trust you enough to fall asleep in your presence, you know, especially in today's
Honestly.
world because like, you know, not many people I'm falling asleep around.
I know, right? No
It's
way.
not a common thing for me, and I'm a big 245-pound guy. You know, if I was your size, I wouldn't fall asleep around anyone.
I don't fall asleep around anyone. I have
It's
to be
just
in the
too
complete dark.
vulnerable, you know?
I have to
Like
be
it's just
alone.
yeah, exactly. Doors locked, nobody can get to me type thing, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really big compliment. And then on top of it, I'm sure it's addicting for them because they probably never have that relaxing of a moment in their life. So they probably are back often for seconds and thirds, I would imagine.
Yeah. So where my why comes from, I really, really believe that a lot of us, we're we're like touch starved. We're touch starved of that gentle, nurturing, safe touch, that's not leading to anything else, that doesn't have any other expectations behind it. Just that love, that physical touch. And so that was my intention behind Body by Gabby, is creating that space for people to come and just be nurtured through physical touch, and just like a safe presence, a safe space. And it's incredible what the body can do when it feels safe and nurtured. And that's why a lot of people fall asleep, because they finally feel, oh my gosh, I can relax, I'm safe. And then the healing that takes place when your body's in that space, it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's few and far between these days to find someone that you feel that comfortable with to be able to relax. Even people alone aren't comfortable enough with themselves to relax to that level. And
True.
so, you know,
Yeah.
it's like you really the entire world is exhausted because everyone's pushing so fast and hard for some reason. I don't know where we're all trying to get to because I'm always like, wow, you know, I'm like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? They're like, oh no. I'm booked up for like 2 weeks, and I'm like,
Whoa.
two, 2 weeks? What are you actually doing? Like, I have like more things going on than anyone I know, and still have more free time than anyone I know. And I'm like, I don't plan anything for tomorrow. Like, I'm planning stuff day by day. When I wake up, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm awake again. Sweet, let's see what happens today. But if you ask me, like, hey, what are you doing on Saturday? I'd be like, what day is it? I'll tell you
No,
on
I'm
Saturday.
saying. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, it's true. You're right. The world of trust and relaxation, and You know, I mean, and that's the thing is getting people back to relaxing, getting people back to calming down. But there's not a solution that's simple when you're being pumped 24/7 negative energy, information, food, television, lack of exercise. You know what I mean? Like we're going against everything that makes us human. And we certainly aren't going to relax, not until we get everything accomplished on our to-do list. And it's like, I took a trip for 3 months down to Patagonia, South America, and Chile. I don't speak Spanish and they don't speak English. They've never even seen Americans. And it's like, I'm in the ice caps with like penguins and sea lions but down there's no electricity, there's no internet, there's no real running water, there's no real anything. So you basically wake up, eat the food that you can find or get, and you go to the bathroom a couple times a day and you drink some water. But really, you have a lot of free time when you take away all the distractions and chaos of life. And then you're just sitting there on the beach. And I realized that I spent, 8 hours a day throwing shells in the water and rolling around in the sand, watching the clouds pass by. And it was just, and I'm going, man, life is so easy. Like it's really easy to be alive. I'm in the coldest part
Wow.
of the world, the hardest part to find food, and I'm still surviving with ease. So I'm like, it's easy to be alive. But then when I
Mm.
came back, I realized, okay, at this point, everything I add back to my life is me choosing to have that stress because there's gonna come stress with anything I add back. And it was really funny because I had a house, but no furniture because everybody was like, when you get furniture in your house, I was like, I don't think I'm going to. I don't really want to have things because it stresses me out now. So, that was finally I put, someone gave me a chair. So, but it was like I got a
That's
bean
so funny.
bag, but that was about it. I was like, I just didn't want things because, I realized the more you have, the more you have to worry about. The less you have, the less you have to worry about. So when you don't really have anything, and it seems like, well, that sucks. I don't have anything. No, you do. You have all the time in the world, which is the one thing that you should be working towards. That is the ultimate currency.
Mhm.
I mean, we've got it all backwards. We think that being busy to obtain things that cause us stress and anxiety and make us sick is success. And the reality is success is being able to do nothing as often as possible.
Mm. Exactly. Success to
So
me means freedom. It
yeah,
means choice. It
yeah.
means,
What do you need all the money for? Once you have enough
yeah,
to buy free time, why don't you use it? Like that's how I thought of it.
yeah.
So I think it's great that you're doing it. I hope to get over there. I'm actually trying to get over there. So, well, we'll see what's going on, but I'm supposed to head that way, in April, May,
Oh, cool.
Bangladesh, Singapore, Bali, and then I thought Australia, because I've really been invited down there a number of times, and I'd really love to come see, the other side of the world and one of the few continents I haven't been on. So hopefully I'll get a chance to come by and see you as well. And
Hope so. Yeah.
Bodywork.
Come to Torquay. You'll love it.
Is it
It's a
beautiful? Yeah, you'll have to send
it's
me
a
some
beautiful
photos.
town.
That sounds
Mm,
amazing. I'm looking
it's
forward
stunning.
to it. Well, it's awesome chatting with you. Thank you for taking time out of your early morning. Is it morning time?
Good morning.
That's coffee or I had tea, huh? That's right, tea
It's
bag
tea. I don't drink coffee.
guy. Yeah, that's right. I forgot you're in you guys are not coffee drinkers.
Oh, I
Honestly,
actually
it's
do. I like matcha. I'm a matcha girl.
love matcha. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, it's so good. Matcha, real good. Really good when it's real matcha too.
Yeah.
Like just matcha. Can't have the garbage matcha. It's gotta be the good stuff. But hey,
Oh,
thank you
yeah.
so much for talking to me. And
Thank
obviously we're
you.
gonna plug your stuff and promote it all over everywhere I can to get them to come see you. And hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Have a wonderful day, Gabby.
You too, Chris.
Bye bye.
Bye.